Hello everybody! Come with me to the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Cafe pop-up at Bearology in LA. Demon Slayer is one of my favorite animes, and I super enjoyed the movie, even though I have some minor complaints. Poor Shinobu. But I was super excited to experience this pop-up since it had some really unique displays from the movie. One of the displays was the Infinity Castle Snack Tower, which I was definitely getting, themed instant ramen bowl, which ended up being sold out, unfortunately. They had themed teas featuring Doma, Akaza, and Kaigaku, which had the option to come in an exclusive cup featuring the Infinity Castle or Mugen Train movies. Besides the food, they also had exclusive merch of posters, an apron, and Nezuko mug. We had a reservation and didn't have to wait too long. It was our turn to go in very quickly, with a Koku Shibo cutout being the first character to greet us. Walking in, there was a super cool Infinity Castle display with Tanjiro, Akaza, and Gyu all in their fighting poses, which was a perfect spot to take a photo with some of the coolest characters in the movie. I took a few photos here to live out my Demon Slayer dreams, cause slay. This movie had me in my feels, though, because Akaza's story. He went from being so detestable to making me actually feel bad for him. The emotional whiplash was crazy, okay? But right next to the big display behind the entrance were cutouts of Doma and Kaigaku. I literally cannot stand Doma. He did Shinobu so dirty, y'all. Anyway, the seating was pretty interesting. There was a row of booths on one side of the cafe, and if you didn't have a party of 4, you would have to share your table with other people. I was a party of 2, so I ended up having to share a table. It was a bit awkward since I'm very introverted, but it was nice meeting people who loved Demon Slayer as well. The walls next to the booth were actually screens that displayed different character silhouettes. Our booth had Kaigaku's silhouette displayed. There was also mirrors at the end of the booths to give the illusion it went on forever. All of their exclusive posters were displayed on the side of the bar, as well as some of their other merch. There was a lot of attention to details of the lights, crows, and mirrors on the ceilings, all really adding up to the feeling of you being inside the Infinity Castle yourself. They also had a backsplash of the Infinity Castle behind part of the bar. They had very high quality t-shirts from a collab with the brand Liquid, and I ended up getting the shirt with Obanai on it since I liked his character design. I just wish they would show his character some more love because I really wanted to know more of his backstory. Like, come on. The cafe was also playing the music from the movie in the background, which was such a vibe and really added to the atmosphere. The other merch they had were plushies of Tanjiro, Kanao, and Sanemi. They were also selling a Nezuko bag and a Nezuko mug, which the mug was of her box, a few hats, and a Gyu boat bag. To get our food, we had to order at the bar. I ended up getting Kaigaku's lychee and apricot tea in the Infinity Castle cup, as well as the Infinity Castle Snack Tower. I got the tea first, and it was pretty good, but also really sweet. The apricot and lychee flavor really went well together. The cup itself was really cool, displaying the Infinity Castle, Tanjiro, and Gyu. It had a sword handle rubber stopper that I almost mistook for a straw, which was kind of embarrassing. The actual straw was built in and was shaped like a sword. We were under the impression that when you buy the snack tower item, you got to keep it, but it turns out that you had to buy the snack tower separately online and that the cafe version was just for the experience. After sipping on my tea, the snack Infinity Castle had arrived. It took up majority of the table, which sort of encroached on the other party's side, making it slightly more awkward. The tower was so large, I didn't know how to properly capture it in all of its glory, so here's me trying to awkwardly get it all on video while trying to be courteous of our table mates. The food items in it were mochi ice cream, gyoza, tempura, and pork katsu sliders. It was a lot of food just for 2 people, but my partner has the appetite of Goku, so I wasn't too worried about food waste. I tried the pork tonkatsu sliders first, and they were really good actually, and very flavorful. It had plenty of tonkatsu sauce on it, and the breading from the tonkatsu pork gave it a nice crunch. The bread was also nice and soft with nice lettering on it. The sliders were my favorite out of everything, and I would highly recommend them. I also tried the gyoza next, which was a bit of a struggle to get out of the tower. It came with a side of sauce for dipping and 6 gyoza. My gyoza fell in the sauce, so I just kind of gave up using my fork. To be completely honest though, the gyoza was just okay. It was a bit cold and kind of had a more reheated taste to it, so I only ate one of these, to be completely honest. I was more excited for the tempura, so I went to grab it out from the other side, only to figure out that I needed to remove the gyoza out of the tower again and then remove it from that side. The tempura came with some dipping sauce, so I gave that a try, and I tried it with the shrimp tempura first. And honestly, it was on par with how the gyoza was. It was room temperature and tasted akin to like prepackaged food. I had the same opinion on the broccoli tempura as I did for the shrimp tempura, so I don't really have much to say about it. Between the tempura and the gyoza, I would say the gyoza was probably better. After trying the main course, it was time for dessert. On top of the tower was mochi ice cream, and I love mochi ice cream, so I was delighted to get my hands on it. Upon touching the mochi though, I realized it was very, very melted. So I struggled to eat it, but I still loved it anyway. The flavors were strawberry and matcha, which are some of my favorites. After consuming my portion of food, I explored the cafe a little more to find the full Infinity Castle display, which was in the very back. On my way there, I found Zenitsu hidden by some gacha machines that had a variety of cute chibi Demon Slayer characters in them. Right next to Zenitsu, in front of the bathroom, was the Infinity Castle display. It was pretty well done. They had a few building structures with mirrors behind them on both sides to give the illusion that you were in the Infinity Castle itself. Weirdly, the bathroom added to the experience as it wasn't labeled and gave the illusion like you were entering the castle itself. As I was filming, I accidentally got too close to the mirror and bumped into it like the silly goose I am. Apparently, it's hard to have depth perception when you're looking through a camera and a mirror at the same time. Overall, I'd rate the experience an 8 out of 10. I super enjoyed my time at the Infinity Castle Cafe pop-up. I'd certainly come back here to Bearology to experience more of their pop-ups in the future. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. See you guys next time. Bye-bye!